Mr. Cohen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Mr. Wheeler, I appreciate your being here. I've been disturbed, alarmed at several actions or inactions that have been taken at the EPA under your leadership. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. Very concerned about how often you have ignored, apparently, your own professional scientists, seemingly at the expense of people's lives, in favor of profit companies and private profits. You've sidelined your scientists, gutted the 2015 coal ash rule, rolled back Clean Water Act protections, weakened the mercury emissions rule, and rescinded the Clean Power Plan. These are all disturbing. And in my city of Memphis, we've had coal ash collected at our steam plant, and it possibly could end up in the waters at our wonderful artesian water wells and threaten our drinking water. The mission of the EPA is to protect human health and the environment, but it doesn't seem that that's been the direction. On asbestos, we also have a problem. And in May, I sent you a letter with 34 of my colleagues after learning that the EPA disregarded the advice of its own scientists and lawyers, issuing a rule that restricted but did not ban asbestos. In a memo written by your own staff in August 2018, they stated, rather than allow for any new use of asbestos, the EPA should seek to ban all new use of asbestos because of the extreme harm from this chemical substantially outweighs any benefit, and because there are adequate alternatives to asbestos. Yet on April 17, 2019, the EPA issued a new rule that did not ban asbestos outright, as your own scientists recommended. I find this incredibly concerning and extremely peculiar that the EPA would concede its own experts' advice on banning asbestos, a known human carcinogen that has killed millions of people over the last several decades. A recent study of research has shown that asbestos-related disease costs 39,275 deaths in the United States annually. That's more than double the previous estimate of 15,000 deaths per year. Additionally, at least 55 countries have banned asbestos completely. Yet in response I received from your office, I was informed that the EPA cannot ban asbestos until a risk evaluation is completed and an unreasonable risk is determined. When, sir, will this risk evaluation be undertaken and completed, and is the death of over 39,000 people a year not considered an unreasonable risk?
First of all, we have done more on asbestos than any administration since the George H.W. Bush administration. We are moving forward on asbestos under the new TSCA regulation, which is the law that Congress gave us to ban chemicals. That is a 2 to 3 year process that Congress set up for us. In order to fill in the gap in the meantime, while we're working through the asbestos under the TSCA regulation, we put out a significant new use rule, which does not allow any new uses of asbestos to go forward without having first come to EPA. So we plugged a loophole that would have allowed people to import asbestos products from other countries such as Russia. So we have done more to stop asbestos and to ban asbestos than any administration has done since George H.W. Bush.
Let me interrupt you for just a second because time's precious. That just means you did more than President Obama. And while President Obama is a great guy, that's not, being stronger than one person is not a great deal. But let me ask you this again, the question. When will the risk evaluation be completed?
Under the process set up by Congress under TSCA, it's a 2 to 3 year process. We included asbestos as one of the first 10 chemicals that we are addressing. We did more than the George W. Bush administration, than the Clinton administration, than the Obama administration. We've done more on asbestos than
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I have been affected closely by this. Warren Zevon was my best personal friend, and he found out he had mesothelioma. He died within about a year of finding it out. That caused his death. There was nothing you can do with mesothelioma. You're dead. And it was caused from probably something he experienced as a child in an attic, breathing in some air. So I'm concerned about it. I hope you'll get your study done in the soonest time possible. Too many lives have been taken by this harmful carcinogen, and your agency can do something about it. Thank you, sir, and I appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Thank you.